Hello everyone and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, Azorius Control. So I've been trying to kind of work out a good Chrome Shark deck. I haven't really figured out what the best way yet, but I have seen a lot of people kind of just cut it down into a very bare minimum that could be used to win people the game, but it's not, you know, overly reliant on that as the win con. I want to see how well that can do. So this is a very bare bones shell Azorius Control version that does utilize, you know, these tornado sharks. So in the early game we have a lot of removal. We have 3 Elspeth Smite against red. We really need that to exile their attacking creatures. Then we have 2 Destroy Evil to kill any, you know, big toughness creature or Shieldred. And enchantment. We can kill enchantment. There's a lot of enchantment decks now running around. This could be useful. And then of course we have 2 Faithful Absence. I've kind of showed off this card in previous renditions. A lot of people are starting to play Planeswalkers a lot more. For some reason, after the March of Machine Aftermath, with all the Planeswalker despark, people thought, hey, let's put Planeswalkers in our deck. I don't know what happened, but we're going to need this to kill Planeswalkers since we don't have a lot of direct damage. We have 4 Make Disappears for obvious reasons and 1 Negate to counter a big spell like Invoke Despair. Then we have 2 Bankbuster, Reckoner Bankbuster for card draw to kind of slowly get our card advantage on. And then 3, or actually, you know, in the 3-drop category, 4 Wedding Announcements for obvious reasons. We're playing white. Wedding Announcement can get us creatures, get a card draw. All in all, this is just a fantastic card to have. It also eats 2/3 of an Invoke. So a 3-mana card that eats 2/3 of a 5-mana card is always good. And then we have Chrome Host Sea Shark, so the card that we really want to help us incubate X whenever we cast non-creature spell. The rest of the deck is basically all non-creature spells, so we can get a lot of sharks out when we need to. But there's only 2 sharks in the deck, so this is something that instead of just running out willy-nilly, this is something that we really want to keep in our hand and only throw out when we have proper protection or proper reasoning to. Maybe we have 8 mana and want to throw out a shark and follow that up with a Sunfall or something. So in the 4-drop category, we have 4 Wandering Emperor in white. Of course, we need that to exile for creatures to gain life. We can make Samurais to win, basically a slower win con. We also have 4 Memory Deluge, basically 8 card draws in 4 cards in the deck. A lot of blue decks really like to have this for card draw. Then we have 4 Sunfall in the deck. That's right, count them. 4 Sunfalls. 0 to populate. This is a new way of playing because we have a lot of early game removal. We can kind of hold off till turn 5 with Sunfall. And when we do, Sunfall is going to land huge. It's not just exiling all creature, it's exiling all creature and then we incubate. Guess what? Incubate does not get exiled right away, so we can use that to hit our opponent when we need to. And the additional thing about Sunfall is it also gives us a 5/5 incubator token for the Chrome Shark. So we can incubate, maybe exile 3 or 4 creatures. So we get, you know, a 4+1/1 counter token, and then a 5+1/1 counter token that both can attack for 9 on an oncoming turn. So that's something, right? It's something to make our opponent kind of be a little bit wary of. And of course, because we are a control deck, we're going to top off with 2 Farewell, the Sayonaras of the deck. And then in the land base, I really tried to fine-tune the land base a little, and I could not figure out, you know, what is the best way. But here is the current version I like the most. So we have 1 Agonjo, 5 Plains, 1 Otawara, 5 Islands. We have 4 Adarkar Wastes, 4 Deserted Beach, 4 Seachrome Coast. The 24 lands for any Azorius shell. Then I fit in 1 Field of Ruin in case we need to kill our opponent's Mirrex. And of course, we have our own Mirrex in case we want to kill our opponents slowly with 1/1. If we end up being in a control matchup, this could help. Alright, that's kind of the whole idea of the deck. Azorius Control shell is fairly standard, but we are in a new-ish meta with standard now includes the not just the mom, but the mat. So let's see whether that's going to shape up the meta a little bit. I know that there's a new infinite combo running about with Obnixilis, and I do want to try that, but I'm going to let that kind of flesh out first. I feel like it's a very weak combo because it's very high mana intensive, but you know, maybe we'll capitalize on that and play some good old control spells. Alright, playing against Nucleate. We're going to go first. Take that, Nucleate. I'm going to say hi. We'll drop the Coast so that we can have Elspeth Smite in case we need it if they're mono red. You never know, Jink Attacks is a liar. And then we can drop the Agonjo. Alright, we dropped the Gonjo. Now we have counter spells up. Alright, so this is the 5-color domain deck. Let's get our winning announcement out. We're gonna need to kind of tempo them out because even though we're the control deck, I feel like they're gonna have more control than us. Then we have to hold up our counter spell for basically every other turn. Stomper. Ramp. Alright, our opponent's doing the rope thing, deciding on what land to get. A mountain. Good for them. Alright, well we can't play anything, so going for the attack. End the turn. We have to make this appear. So if they play a ramp spell, invasion of Zendikar. Okay, well, counter. They just ripped that. They didn't even make any considerations. Alright, do we want more creatures on board or do we want to draw a card? I think card draw is what we want. Card drawing to land is less than ideal, but it's something that we'll have to live with. Let's see if they rip something bigger. Topiary Stomper. So they're trying to get lands out. Can't stop that. Do they have another land to play? There's no reason to hold out. Bankbuster. Ooh, do I want to counter their Bankbuster? Because they can have a lot of things and I don't have any more card draw. But the Bankbuster is scary because... well, I got 2 Destroy Evils, right? So, maybe I'll just let them draw and I'll Destroy Evil the 2 things on the board here. Oh, maybe I'll use 1 Destroy Evil to catch him off guard. Do I really want to use Destroy Evil on a Topiary Stomper? That's not really anything. Our opponent's doing the rope thing. They have nothing to play, but they're still gonna rope. Jink attacks us. Oh, they got a force! Look at that, now they can attack. No attacks. On your turn? Alright, opponent's giving it to me. I think we're just gonna attack anyways. Elspeth Smite. Tiny little trade here, but pretty much all we can do. They're gonna Traxxas us, and there's nothing we can do about it. Per migration, it's like a Traxxas. Memory Deluge. That might be absolutely necessary here. But we'll hold up the mana, see what he plays. Does he really not have anything? Bankbuster. I mean, I'm not going to counter a Bankbuster. He's going to draw a card here, right? Can't play a Traxxa this way. It's a funky little combo. Yeah, this deck is not meant to go against theirs, but we have a much better chance against this deck than almost any other deck out there, so let's see what happens. But we need our artifact destructions, which currently isn't in the meta, which is... Obviously, this is what Wizard is planning. They have 3 mana left. Maybe they'll channel and cycle a land, but they wouldn't do it on their turn. Unless they're that desperate. Alright, doing the rope thing again. Control decks. Am I right? Am I right, folks? Topiary Stomper. Alright, so here's where we'll Memory Deluge. We can Sunfall, or we can make disappear. Obviously, we're taking make disappear. Do we want to take Sunfall as well? Or do we want Wedding Announcement for more creatures? Probably the Wedding Announcement, right? I don't think I want a Farewell. Nothing really scary on board there for Farewell. Sunfall? Sunfall might also need to happen. They're gonna get another land. Maybe I should have taken Wedding Announcement there. Oh well. So, I can take the damage. I'm not really sure what's happening, and I want Memory Deluge next turn before something big happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He cannot Atraxa over 2/2. I'm happy that happened. Will get us a land out. Sure, why not? One, two, three, 4. 4 mana. You sure you don't want to cycle those lands? You don't have 4 mana left. Opponent's a madman. No blocks. I am madder. If that's a word. Backside of the deluge. What are we gonna get? Wandering Emperor's pretty good. Do I want the shark? Or do I want... I think I want the shark, right? I don't know what else they can do. They could. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I wish I had a land there. Oh well, above the shark, I think I have enough mana. They don't have hard removals. So the shark should be fine. Only thing they have is the exile. And the exile I can take. I actually want them to exile the shark, because then my farewell will just get it on the back foot. Ossification. You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He still has 7. Per migration. Okay, I'll let him have this. He wants to attack. Alright, so how should I do this? I want to Wandering Emperor for sure. Do I want to exile the Bankbuster? Am I playing... I'm playing Farewell next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am definitely Farewelling next turn, so that means that I am definitely blocking the Topiary Stomper. And... wow, he's gonna rope on this too. So, I don't know if I want to exile the Bankbuster, it's just 1, but I feel like I should. I feel like I should. And also, I don't want to Farewell when Sunfall actually gives me a big token. So I will Wandering Emperor to exile the Bankbuster, kill a card for him, and then I can also make a 2/2 to add to the Make Disappear if I need to. Depending on if I draw a land or not. If I draw a land, then I don't need to, right? So I think that's the play. Come on! Gee. Did I DC, or is this just a rope happening? Is my internet still working? What is going on here? Let's check the internet. Okay, my internet still works. I always gotta wonder about this with Wizard. They're not. I don't know what they're doing with their apps. Sometimes it just bugs out like this. Our opponent is having a stroke. Click 2 damage. Come on. Oh my gosh. This is our first game. He's gonna use up all of his rope. I mean, okay, I don't think our opponent's a toilet gamer. No toilet gamer would play this complicated of a deck, right? You got a lot of different lands to search through. That is not something that you want to play on your smartphone or your tablet. But our opponent definitely is one of those gamers that just have a stroke and leave the game midway. Why do they have so many timers? I don't understand this. Come on, Magic Gathering Arena. Stop giving people timer when they don't deserve it. This is like the worst kind of people. Maybe they just DC'd. To be fair, right? They might have just DC'd. I'll play this quickly because they might have. They're definitely not clicking on anything. I am clicking on everything. But I do think we still won, regardless of whether they DC or not, because... Oh, I guess they just quit. That also works. Oh, our deck is so strong, we scared them off. Right, we have 2 Emperors, so I don't think they can come back from this. We have them Make Disappear, which means that their tracks, instead of causing 7, now cause 11. And I don't think they have 11 lands. Let's try again. Azorius Control is very strong. The problem with Azorius Control most of the time is when you're drawing the wrong side of your deck. Because this deck definitely makes you want to draw the entire deck at some point, or play the entire deck at some point. Alright, this is a slower kind of control deck. We're gonna go first. Alright, we got Destroy Evil, Make Disappear, Negate into a Shark. So I'm gonna keep, but this is not a very good hand if our opponent is super aggro. I'm gonna hope that they're not just mono red burn. They're blue. Interesting. If they're blue, mono blue. Okay, so they'll probably counter this, right, with their negate. But gotta run it out anyways. Gotta run out one thing at a time. Against blue, you just gotta play one thing at a time. They're gonna counter everything, but if you're scared, then they're gonna have the advantage. Eventually. Here though, I do want to hold off. Because they have no place. White. Oh, okay, so they're not just blue. Well, guess what? Now I have a Murex. Mind Splice. We'll make that disappear. I think the Negate is probably better because they will have more mana now. The Gonjo. Next. End turn. Do they have a second Mind Splice? Negate. Do they have a third Mind Splice? I don't have anything against the third Mind Splice. That's for sure. Here comes the third Mind Splice. I swear to God. No third Mind Splice. Alright. I don't want to play the Chrome Shark here because I feel like I don't have... do I want to just Murex next turn? I do, huh? Did I have a third Mind Splice? Union. Okay, that's good. That's good that I didn't play the shark, because these are toxic, so their unions don't do anything. Memory Deluge. Good for them. Memory Deluge is a very funky card in the Mind Spice deck, because I think they just want to use the Silver Scrutiny more, but I could be wrong. This does not do anything against their deck. Do they have another Union? They have a lot of cards. At some point they're gonna board wipe us for sure. We gotta make this appear. That's a little bit slow. They have a lot of land, so I don't know make this appear will hit anything. It might hit that, but that's fine. I don't want to hit a Memory Deluge. They can draw whatever they need. I'll counter whatever they draw. They're on 6. They'll die to an attack of 4. But they'll probably board wipe here to populate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Create 1. March. Now we play a shark. What is this shark gonna do? He's at 22. The shark really isn't gonna do anything, but I'll play it out anyways because it's not doing anything in my hand. And maybe we'll draw out a removal from him. Silver Scrutiny for 2. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't counter the Memory Deluge. I'm not going to counter a Silver Scrutiny for 2. Will he take it? He will go to 7. We're playing a very fine dance here because we're both blue-eye control. And this is the least that I wanted to play. Control versus control is the least fun type of game. But the Matchmaker does not know how to play Magic, so whenever you play a deck, or whenever you pick a deck, you're gonna meet that exact same style of deck. And basically that's forcing everyone to not like Magic Arena. Unfortunately, that is how they want to set this up, so that aggro player can play aggro, and they can finish their game in 10 seconds. Draw 4 and have 4 lands open. Yeah, you can draw 4. I want to stop that to populate, I think. Do I want to stop that to populate? Because I still have the 1. Alright, the shark doesn't do anything. He has another march? Okay. So he has another march. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has another march. Let's just get the Emperor out. It's something.
I hope you're ready to keep watch for intruders. We must protect.
He's drew a lot of cards. He's down to 30 cards in his deck. I'm still at 42. The populate again? Yeah. That deck, if you killed the The artifact, it's not really that scary.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Alright, he's at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Silver Scrutiny for 3. He's really drawing his cards. And he has Raffine's Tower? There's no way there's black mana in the deck. Or there's black mana. There's no way there's black spells in the deck. I'm not seeing it halfway through his deck. It's just a Mind Splice deck. Why Sun's Twilight, huh? For 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he probably has sort of a removal, right? So we're gonna let that through. Yeah, we're gonna let that through. It's kind of awkward, to be fair. He can't block this. These can't block. March? Okay, you can do that. We will... let's see. Colorless, white, white, blue, blue. Actually, that doesn't matter. We're just Sunfall. What does he have? Does he have a Wandering Emperor or a counterspell? Does he have counterspells in that deck at all? Devious Cover-Up. Ah, well. None of that. Alright, now we got a 5/5. We make a 2/2, and we'll end turn.
Your blade do the talking.
We powered down for a turn, but we need to do that to stop the Devious Cover-Up. That is a degenerate type of deck. I love it. Not even mad if I lose to it. He has drawn a lot more lands than me, but he also drew a lot more cards than me. So that's fair. We couldn't close. He's at 8 poison. 2 more poison and we could have closed, but at this point I don't think there's any way for us to close that last 2 poison. So unless he draws out of cards, which I honestly don't think, I don't think that's going to happen. That's a huge refill of hands. This is a really greedy deck. It has 4 Scrutinies, 4 Scrutiny, and it has how many Memory Deluge? At least 1. So 4 Scrutiny and a Deluge, that deck will die to every aggro. But hey, look, we're not aggro, right? So sometimes it does help when you attack against just your mirror. And now we got nothing. Mind Splice. Interesting. He thinks he can counter anything that stops the Mind Splice. What he cannot counter is an Otawara. Alright, so do I go in for 5? Why not? Go in for 5.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Neither of these are a lot of damage, and I'm out of counterspells. Our opponent has a whole handful of stuff, and now he finally has the Mind Splice apparatus up, so I'm not really quite sure what else we got. The last Murex, the last token we can generate from Murex had died long ago. Now they have Fear of Ruin. We'll never get kill off the 8 life. Now we have to kill the, or 8 toxic. Now we have to kill the 14 life, and I just don't think that's happening. So our opponents got it. 6. Last turn. Alright, top deck land's not going to help. He has a lot of mana. I don't think we have lost entirely yet this turn, but this is kind of the turning point. He can counter anything we place, and then we don't have anything card draw wise. So I'm gonna call it a game and not waste both of our time. That's a good GG. That was a fun game. That kind of had me thought out the process. It didn't work out well, but you know what? I'm happy that I lost to another blue-eye control. It just shows that blue-eye control is strong. Unfortunately, it wasn't us that came out on top this time. But that's the whole deck. Unfortunate because blame the matchmaker. All right, go complain to Wizard about the matchmaker. This is the least fun type of game anyone want to play, and that's mirror match. And we've only been playing mirror match today. We play against a blue-eye control and a 5-color control. We beat the 5-color control. We cannot beat the blue-eye control because our draws were lacking in the early game tempo cards. We were able to sustain for a while, but it was inevitable. I think the only thing that I should have think about was the wedding announcement pick from the Memory Deluge. I just don't remember if that was the first or the second game. That being said, though, this deck is pretty fun. I do have a lot of tech cards against Aggro in terms of Elspeth Smite. I also have a lot of tech against Black in Destroy Evil. It can also help against the current enchantment-heavy meta with Fable, with the green-white enchantment with Calyx. These are all things that we could consider. But this deck does not stand well against other blue-eye controls that are even controllier. So, yeah, that's why we lost that game. So that's kind of how the turn tabled. I do like this deck though. It's very fun to play, and I would recommend playing this deck. On the long run, you're gonna have a lot more sort of average smoothing, and if you play just a few games, you're going to meet aggros, or you're going to meet mirror, and you're going to be mad. But whenever you do meet aggro, and you stomp aggro with Elspeth Smite into wedding announcement and make them quit their life, that's so much more fun. They're going to hate playing Magic because they're playing aggro, and you're playing control deck that can out-control their aggro. That's my idea. That's the whole reason why I like blue-eye control so much, because it is just overall so strong in almost any form of meta. No matter how much Wizard like to boost their aggro player to make the dumb players pay them more money to play, there's always blue-eye control is going to come out on top. In most kind of standards, it is always some form of either control or tempo/control, because that's where all the best players play at. You can't just play your deck. You have to play your opponent's deck. And that is where control or sometimes tempo/mid-range come in. You have to understand how to play around your opponent's card in order to be a good Magic player, and that's why I really like styles of deck like this. Now, I'm going to go and kind of fine-tune a Chrome Host Sea Shark deck, because this deck does not use the Shark enough. That is my only gripe with this deck. I really wanted to try the Sharks, and this did not bring out the Sharks enough. Alright, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.